Welcome to Hi Felicia. Hi Felicia, hi Felicia.
Just admit you love it, you love it. Hi Felicia, hi. I've got people coming up to me on the street being like, hi Felicia, hi Felicia. No?
No, because
Still, you hate it.
I will never
So
love
annoying.
it.
Sometimes
Sorry.
you kill me.
You know, it's because my name. I hate the name Felicia.
Oh, it's about the name.
Yes,
You guys,
about
it's
the
not
name.
about the AI.
No,
it's not about the great
no,
beat.
It's about the name.
Let's talk about that. You hated your name growing up.
Well, you don't know. Do you remember what my maiden name was?
Of course I know what your maiden
Can
name
you
was.
imagine a little girl sitting in kindergarten? They go, Felicia Allshaw. I mean, how cruel is that?
Did you ever say to your mom, why'd you
What
name
were you
me Felicia?
thinking?
No,
Yeah.
were you like, why'd you name me Felicia?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there were a lot of things I had asked my mother, like, why would you do that? But
And what'd she
apparently,
say?
she thought it was a nice name. She never considered it Felicia Allshall as a little girl sitting in a classroom.
Felicia Allshall.
Well, maybe because I know it's a tongue twister.
I feel like you've been telling me this week that you've been stressed because of all the shows I'm making you watch.
Yes, I am stressed. I have homework for the first time in 50 years.
This is not like you. This
I
is
know,
fun.
but yeah, it is fun. However, you're like kind of making me watch, or not making me. You're like suggesting shows that I normally probably would no longer watch.
So today we have a very special guest.
Yes, we
and
do.
she's going to come on later, and her
Yes.
name is Daryn Carp.
Who was?
Is Andy Cohen's assistant. So
Still?
I'll discuss her bio later. But I just thought if we have Daryn on, you should watch Vanderpump because it's such a big deal right now.
And I did.
So we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So do you feel less stressed now?
A little bit. Yes.
Okay. I just, I don't want to stress you out, Phil.
Oh, please. I'm stressed out every Saturday when I come here to do this
Why?
because I'm nervous about it.
Well, have
I'm
your
sorry.
Cosmo. Let's
I-
go. Drink and
okay,
drink.
okay,
All right. So you
okay.
know what time it is? I've got some news for you. Justin Timberlake tickets.
Oh, so you texted me yesterday and said like price, and I was like, I don't know what they go for.
I was asking you, like, what's the most we want to pay?
I don't know.
So here's the deal. JT made big news this week.
Yes, he did.
Big news. And we knew what happened. We discussed last week that Britney's Army put her song above Justin's song. And Britney came out with an apology. She was like, you know what? I want to apologize if I hurt anybody. And Justin, your song is great. And you and Jimmy Fallon are so funny. Da-da-da-da. Very sweet of Britney. She didn't have to do that. Justin has not said a word about her book. He's not dropped everyone's been like saying, when is he going to come out with a statement? When is he going to come out with a
He's
statement?
never going to come out with a statement.
Well, do you know what he said at his fucking show Wednesday night at Irving Plaza?
No, I do not. What
You
he
don't
said.
know what he
No,
said?
No, because I've been kind of busy.
That's okay that you've been busy. Look, I've seen him in Irving Plaza before years ago. Great show. I've seen him twice at MSG. I saw him once actually when they recorded for HBO. But this really bothered me.
What did he
came
say?
out on stage and he said, "I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody."
Oh, wow.
Fucked up, Justin. And I'm sorry, Mom, I'm dropping those F-bombs. Fucked up.
He should have just not said anything.
He should have not said anything.
Just don't even go there.
I just thought it was so fucking rude and classless. And the response from the audience wasn't like cheering him on. It was like,
They're probably going, oh.
It was just like, what the? Why'd you got to do that?
Yeah, no, he didn't have
It
to.
didn't look good.
Right.
And then she came out and she basically was like, I heard someone's talking shit about me. I hope you go run home to your mommy like you did last time. So I was like, now the doors are open again. Now they're feuding again.
I wonder
It
if they.
just upset me.
I know, but I wonder if they discuss this beforehand just so they can get traction.
Like
You know,
Britney and JT.
Yeah, you never
See
know.
what
I mean,
you're saying.
she's
I see what you're
coming.
saying.
She's got like whatever.
I don't think though, because they seem like they were really on the outs. That's a
Maybe
very
their
interesting theory.
Maybe their managers are discussing. I think this was.
So let me just tell you
planned.
something. So I tried 3 times this week to get tickets, and I easily could have gotten the tickets. Easily.
At what price?
Exactly. Not platinum. Platinum means when if there's a demand, the prices increase. This is literally like what Justin's team agreed with Madison Square Garden. I always go in the section 100s. That's my favorite if I'm not on the floor. Floor could be like $1,000. My normal seats, like we sit for Pink, like we sat for Queen, where I like to go.
Right. Were.
Stand by. The
Okay.
whole time in the back of my mind, I'm replaying Justin's "Fuck You" on stage. And when I saw what the cost was for a ticket, it was $520
A ticket.
a ticket. And I thought, I can't. This is
No,
not. This is,
that is insane.
and for the nosebleeds, like $280. That's not okay. I'm not paying that much money without fees to sit in the nosebleeds. I've seen him 3 times.
Yeah, it's wrong.
And you know what? I'd rather give my money to Dave Grohl this summer to see the Foo Fighters for a lot less. Or the other Dave Matthews. So, or Dave Byrne, any David. I'm really disappointed in JT.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't do that.
Yeah, I thought you would have been like, really, Marni?
Yeah,
that much money?
Really lot of money.
Okay, but that was so. By the way, when we looked on StubHub, the $520 was the base, so it only goes up. You know what? It's not meant to be.
No, not at all.
All right,
there'll be others.
Yeah, give me the Foo Fighters this summer. Other news, I'm excited. September 6th, 2024, movie drop, Beetlejuice, the sequel. Guess who's in it?
Who's in it?
Michael Keaton. Winona Ryder.
Wait. But what part is Michael Keaton playing?
I don't know, Mom.
An old Beetlejuice?
He's definitely playing Beetlejuice, obviously.
That's so funny.
Tim Burton is involved again. They're bringing back the OGs.
Wow.
I'm very excited.
I was so
Guess
happy.
who else is in it? Catherine O'Hara. And she just got booked on season 2 of The Last of Us. Look, we're going, Felicia, her mind is...
Which movie is Last of Us? Is that the one?
No, that was the TV show that you loved with Pedro Pascal.
Oh.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yes.
Is going to be in Beetlejuice.
Yes.
And she's going to be on season 2 of The Last of Us.
And I saw her, by the way, on
Andy.
Andy.
Watch What Happens
It was
Live.
great.
It was
with
great.
Bryan Cranston.
I
of them.
bet you don't even know what that scene was from Beverly Hills Housewives.
Well, I mean, I got the gist of it, but I had not seen it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But all right, I have 2 more names to drop who are going to be in Beetlejuice, which I'm very excited about. My favorite male, one of my favorite males. I feel like he would be my hall pass. Justin Theroux.
Oh,
He's
but he is balding.
What?
Like, and
Felicia dropping bombs.
He's a little
Theroux is balding.
Yes,
I don't even care. He's
I know.
so
I don't
hot.
care. He's so cute.
And the
No, he's
beard,
cute.
and he kind of reminds me of my
cute.
husband. I'm sorry.
He's cute.
And of course, who else is going to be in it?
Who?
But Jenna Ortega, because she's so typecast now to
yes.
play like dark, evil. I mean, it
perfect.
just makes sense.
Perfect. Yes. Oh, that's really fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't think we showed Lennon Beetlejuice. I think I might have scared him a few years ago. So we're going to have to do this again.
I keep asking him. He doesn't want to say it.
Well, we're going to make him.
All right.
Let's discuss the Wendy Williams trailer for her new documentary coming out soon at the end of this month on Lifetime.
Okay.
You were a fan of Wendy, right?
I did not watch her from the get-go because I didn't care for her in the get-go. Not because she did anything. She just wasn't my cup of tea. And then a few years later, I started watching her. Probably into 3 years, and then she kind of like got sick.
She got sick or got drunk?
She had a lot of health issues.
Right.
And she probably was drinking maybe because of her health issues. They are really bad health issues, by the way.
Graves' disease.
And she had something with her legs that were always swollen, which is not a good thing because that usually relates to the heart. It's just the whole can of worms for her. And
what did you think of the trailer?
I know that when I did watch Wendy Williams, she did put out some sort of documentary. She did. Yeah, she did. And it was on Lifetime.
What?
So that's why I tend to think they might have used part of that with maybe new stuff because now her son is kind of in it a little bit.
Yes.
But I don't know how to
they
check that
recycling?
out. It could be.
Let's ask our production people out there.
Yes, I don't know
I got
that
a
for
lot of
fact.
sources out there. Are they recycling footage from this older documentary and making it fresh?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Look, I never really did the Wendy show. It was, pop culture. It was in the, the conversation, and she got made fun of on shows.
She did, yeah.
But I will definitely be watching that.
She had a good
documentary.
production crew.
So I think that's all of our news, and we had a lot of news. So let's discuss our circumcised gems this week. Felicia, I watched the 3rd episode of Masters of the Air. Didn't you tell me that you started watching it and you stopped though?
At my house. I did watch it, the first episode, and I kind of lost interest. And now I realize I have to give it more of a
the 3rd episode
chance.
Was better for me. But I gotta say, Austin Butler cannot shake this Elvis.
That's what's bothering me.
Bothering you? It's bothering me now.
Southern, and I don't think he's from the South.
Guess where he's from?
Where?
Anaheim, California.
What is he doing?
It's crazy to me. So I did some back
research,
digging,
yes.
and I watched a bunch of interviews pre-Elvis,
and
he sounds Southern. It's weird. He doesn't obviously. he doesn't sound like Elvis, but he does sound, has like a little.
got the drawl.
I even saw
call it the
him
drawl.
this week on Drew Barrymore, and he's talking to her and he's giving her like these fuck me eyes, and just the way he looked at her, and like he's like he just wants everybody to want to jump him. And I was just, he needs to shake this. It's really, really bothering me.
It is annoying. Yeah. And I think that's what, like, I went, really? And I just said, I'll come back to it another time.
But Tom Hanks was probably like, yo, that's my boy from the movie Elvis. And I did love Hanks and Elvis as the Colonel. And I was a big fan of that movie.
You know, I didn't see Elvis.
You
I didn't see it
all.
because I was never a fan of Elvis. I know I should have given it a chance. Not that it's ever too late.
I thought it was great.
Everybody did.
And I saw Priscilla this year. And I thought it was okay. I mean,
Okay.
Jacob Elordi, hottie, is also
Okay.
in.
What did he play?
Elvis.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it was Priscilla's like POV.
Yes,
It's
obviously.
good. You know, it's Sofia Coppola.
Right.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. She directed it. Sofia Coppola.
Oh, okay. Right.
Our big watch of the week. Dun, 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 dun. Feud. Capote versus the Swans. Let's go.
Yes.
Loved it.
I really did like it.
Loved.
I wish I could remember what was true and what wasn't true, or
Well,
what was. I realized
Google
a lot of it
discussed.
is
Vulture.com had a great article.
But I must say, when it came on, I knew there was a big cast of fabulous women. In the very beginning, I couldn't recognize them because of makeup and hair and costuming, and it took me a few minutes. And I usually can get these
Right away,
older
you get
women,
them.
especially the women who are a little older. I do get it. However, after figuring out everybody, I'll say it again. Callista Flockhart looked amazing.
I will say, at
and
first
you know who
I was
she
like,
played?
is that
Who, you know-
Callista?
Yes, me too. I go, where's Callista? And then she came on. I went, that's her. And do you know what part she played?
Wait. Is this a spoiler? I mean, she played one of.
She played Lee Radswell, which was.
This was I deep dived this.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
This is like a far reach of relationship to Caroline Radswell from Housewives of New York.
But Lee Radswell, if I'm not mistaken, is Jackie Kennedy's sister.
I did look this up, but Callista at first, I was like, I remember back in the day, like right after Ally McBeal, or maybe during Ally McBeal, she like fucked up her lips. She did something work-wise and did her lips. Do you remember that?
Yes, probably had, lip.
And I feel like now her skin looks great, but I still see the lip. I still see the lip.
I think
is
she
like a
settled
thing.
into her. She looks great. Doesn't matter. She looks great. I did not recognize when they first showed Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
I did not recognize. She had a small but significant part. Do you know who Joanne Carson was? She was played by Molly Ringwald, but do you know who she really is?
Who?
She was Johnny Carson's wife.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, that's why everybody at that table, they had Phyllis Diller with the blonde with the crazy hair and the.
Wow. So I want to give, can we discuss Treat Williams?
Do you know he passed away?
I know, Mom. Do you know how?
No.
I believe he was like on a motorcycle ride, but he didn't get into an accident. I think something happened, like he had a heart attack.
I really liked him. He was on Blue Bloods also. He did a lot of Blue Bloods.
That was his last role.
I thought so.
And it's so sad that he's not going to be able to see how great this show is.
I'm sorry. Yeah, because I liked him.
I also thought Tom Hollander, who plays Truman Capote,
Fabulous.
is so
fabulous.
amazing.
And I totally recognized him once I really a little bit. I went, I've seen him before. I can recognize him.
Well, what kills
now.
me is that you haven't done White Lotus season 2 and he plays the evil gay.
Yeah. I know.
He is the gay.
Right.
So when you watch it, like he was great. Okay. I obviously deep dived this whole thing and I really wanted to go back and watch Philip Seymour Hoffman and when he won the Oscar to play Truman Capote.
Yeah,
but
he was also really good in it.
Well, he won the
was
Oscar.
Yes.
But
he was
it's
great.
nowhere, like I can't find it on streaming for free. I have to fucking rent it, which is so
What a
annoying.
shame.
So
and by the way,
annoying.
Naomi Watts was one of the executive producers. You know how I love finding out
love
that crap.
the credits.
Yeah, I always love the credits because I like to see why is this top actress being in this? Because they're paying her so much money. She's going to act and then exec produce and get like more money. Great idea, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I also got to say, it's so hard. You know, they always say like when getting older in Hollywood is so hard. You don't get these parts.
Yeah.
So I just think this is a great series for these women. And Jessica
Absolutely.
Lange.
Wow.
I know. And Diane Lane, like they all look amazing.
Diane
Diane
she
looks
looked great.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Jessica Lange, I hope that was a lot of makeup because she looked a little scary.
You thought she looked scary?
Yeah.
And Ryan
She's
Murphy must
beautiful.
love her because she's
in
an
a lot
American
of
Horror
stuff.
Story.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to continuing watching this series.
Me too.
It's an A+ for us.
I lived during that. I mean,
Do you remember this?
I remember some of it, and I know Truman Capote. I know he died, obviously, and I don't remember if he died from liver failure or
Alcohol
because he was so messed up. But he really did take advantage of all the information he was finding, and I don't know why those women loved him so much.
Because us women love gays.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
But he was really.
But it wasn't like he had the money and he was bringing them to these fabulous parties. They were bringing him
Yes,
to
I
these
know
fabulous
that. And
parties.
they
He
were
just
bringing-
loved
yeah,
like high
yeah.
society.
Apparently, yeah, he did.
Do you remember these women?
Yes.
You do.
Well, that's how I knew Joanne Carson was Johnny Carson's wife, because I remember that. Yes, there was a lot of things I did remember.
Wow, I'm very impressed with you, Felicia.
Well, it's kind of my generation, kind of.
Yeah,
well,
I guess
maybe.
Well, yeah. So I just want to say we have a big announcement that dropped regarding Law and Order. Do you know? If you don't know this
Oh, wait a
news,
minute.
It's big news. And
He's leaving.
Sam Waterston,
Yes.
400 episodes is leaving.
God
and
bless.
Being replaced by, very, very excited about
Who?
Tony Goldwyn, who is in Scandal and in Ghost. He's like the best actor ever. He's in everything and he's so sexy.
He is, and he is the grandson or the great grandson of Samuel L. Goldwyn.
Like
the
movie.
Yes.
The movie.
Well, not only that, I mean, they own a whole tremendous.
So do you think
production line.
is that like a little bit of a Nepo situation?
No, because
He's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
So how do you feel about Sam leaving? I mean, for you, this is a big moment.
It is a big moment, but God bless. He did a great job all these years.
I feel like he's always plays the same age.
It seems that way. It seems like he's been that age for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm happy he's, again, happy an older person is working, and he's probably said, all right, it's time. Move on.
Felicia, it's time for Uncircumcised Gems. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Daryn Carp. Miss Daryn Carp. But for those that don't know Daryn Carp, but I think most of my listeners do know who she is a pop culture, I want to say you're like a pop culture historian. You know all things. We met in 2017. I produced a show called Throwback Bravo, and that's when we first met, and we continued to work together on Gabby Petito's special for Discovery ID. Yes. I also worked together with your podcast, Killer Questions. Daryn is a BravoCon correspondent. She talks all things pop culture with Felicia's favorite, Hoda and Jenna. Did you know that? She's on Hoda.
I must have. Okay,
you must have missed that third hour.
Wow,
spoiler alert.
I'm sorry. Is that third hour? Is that third hour?
Daryn's also the host of a true crime podcast, Shaken and Disturbed, with our friend John Thrasher, and she was on E for the Oscars. I'll never forget that green Gucci suit. Right.
Thank you. Yes, iconic.
And so much more. You have such a resume. So thank you for joining us.
Wait, but weren't you Andy's assistant?
Are you still Andy's assistant?
Yeah. I still work with him. I'm still in the Andy Cohen world. Phil, thank you for getting my job title right, because Marni is she's dropping the ball. I mean, if it wasn't for you, this podcast couldn't exist. I just want everyone to know. You keep the ball moving. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I do want to say, Felicia texted me this week with a question that obviously I couldn't answer, and you probably can't answer it either, but I thought it would be fun if we brought it up. Sure. Felicia said, Andy must be getting paid so much money for that Walmart commercial.
and when I saw him in the Walmart commercial, it looks like he is superimposed. He was not there.
He wouldn't even go into the Walmart.
Exactly. He wouldn't step, nor would I, by the way. So, and I've never been in a Walmart.
Oh, Mom.
I'm sorry.
You've never been in a Walmart?
Guess what? Field trip to the Walmart, 5 minutes from my house.
I'm sorry.
Not for nothing, but it's a great place. I mean, it's not a Costco, but it's a great place.
However, I like Target better.
Okay, I'm a Target lady.
I like Target.
I mean, it depends. It's like it's like, do you like Wawa or do you like other,
like a
grocery
7-Eleven? Yeah, I mean
7-Eleven or other things. It depends where you grow up.
Got it.
You're
right.
It does.
You're
So
right.
I'm a Target person, but I went to school in Pennsylvania, so I really had to appreciate a Walmart moment.
I get it.
we're
I
gonna
get
have
it.
to take her to Walmart, people.
Field trip.
So you can't like validate or confirm how much money Andy Cohen
No.
made on that Walmart commercial.
I can't confirm or deny anything, but I will say that Andy Cohen is Andy Cohen now. And so, if I was to put my thinking hat on, I would say that he definitely got paid a lot to do that. The best part was it was in LA and I moved to LA. And so I got an opportunity to see him and I was on the set and I saw everything. So
Nice. We have a lot to cover now. I did make Felicia watch, and she stopped
God.
watching Vanderpump Rules, but it was a
she's
big
over
week.
it.
It was.
I
a
know
big
last week I listened and last week you were like, I'm over it. Like, I don't want to watch these people do those things. But Felicia, you have to because of Scandival. The fact that you have to at least see how the season plays out. Give it that. And then
I will.
If it's boring, then you give up.
It's not that it's boring. I'm just so tired of these people who I'm assuming are in their mid to late 40s.
Not late.
Not
Not
early
late.
40s.
Early.
Early 40s.
Mom, they're not older than me. No.
They
Yeah,
look
no,
older
they're
than
not.
you.
Well,
They look
that's true. Yeah, they
Thank
do.
you.
They do look
really,
older
they
than you.
do.
They do?
Yes.
Lala's like young.
Well,
All
I
these
know.
people
Lala-
are
Lala,
young.
Lala's like maybe I
She's
think like
young.
maybe a year or two younger than me, and I'm about to be 36. So I think Lala's in her mid 30s now.
You're
and
only going to be 36?
Baby.
Then you therefore have worked for a very long time.
I have.
She started as a page.
I started as an NBC page, and then I started with Andy when I was 23 in 2011.
Wow. Good for you. Wow. Well,
Yeah. But let's talk about Vanderpump. I want to give a
do it.
moment to Sheena's lips. I think her lips need her own confessional. Like they got just really,
They're big.
they're big.
Big.
They're really
She
big.
also lives in Marina Del Rey. Fun
Wow.
fact, because when
Oh.
I moved to Marina Del Rey, everyone was like, "With Sheena Shea?" And I was like, "Is that the best thing that we have going for Marina Del Rey?" Like, okay, I'm in. Like, so
That's really funny.
But
Here's-
yeah, her
here-
lips are good. I think she gets better looking with age, or with more enhancements, or whatever.
I mean, these are all beautiful people. I think Katie could look better.
You don't like the short hair? I actually
I
think
do. I do.
you
I
like
do
the
too.
haircut.
She's
Yes.
very
Oh.
punk. What I like about Katie is she's punk and she looks different than all of them.
She
She's
does.
Not,
You're absolutely
You know what
right.
I mean? Like when I see her
typical
at
blonde.
BravoCon, or like when I see her at BravoCon, first off, she always remembers everyone's name. She's very sweet and she's like punk rock. Like she's not. She seems like the type of woman that isn't going to go get Botox. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm pro Botox. I'm just saying that like in that world, it's like okay, when Lala gets her lip done, everyone's like okay. But
Yeah,
if Katie
yeah.
got her lips done, everyone would be like, whoa, that'd be weird. Like it just seems like she's just her own person, and I
You're
respect.
changing my tune now on Katie. I think
I
I'm
respect her.
Yeah, I'm gonna change my tune.
that.
All
Yeah,
right.
she's punk, man. She's punk. You got to appreciate a girl that's punk.
I just felt like when I was watching the episode, I just felt like why they should have pushed this out sooner. Like it's February. I think they should have dropped in September. Like the scandal happened in March. I think they took a little too long.
But don't you
no?
think? Well, first off, BravoCon was in early November, and I think personally, like everyone was still reeling off Scandival. I mean, I took one picture with Tom Sandoval. Granted, I've been to Bravo my whole like adult career.
Right.
I've been at NBC my whole adult career. I've known these people for a very long time. I've known them since they were younger than me. I took one picture, like one Instagram of smiling. I got so much hate. I got so much hate.
Really? Oh.
And it had already been, what, 9 months since
Yeah,
it all had
yeah,
dropped. So I was
yeah.
just like, wow, people are still reeling from it. So I do think it's smart to have waited after
Okay,
BravoCon.
they gave it a big breath.
They gave it a big breath. We all kind of did it. Ariana was on Dancing with the Stars. It would have been
Right.
too much
Right.
Vanderpump content. It just would have been too much. Tom Sandoval, Tom Schwartz was on Stars on Mars. Sandoval did the, I'm blanking on the name, but that like boot
The
camp
villains,
show.
or was it the villains?
No, it wasn't House of Villains,
Oh,
although he's
okay,
going to be,
okay.
he's definitely going to be on House of Villains. Like, I mark my word about that. I think he's going to be on it. But he was doing like some special ops or
All right.
something.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
They-
it would
so
have been
they
too
didn't.
much.
They didn't oversaturate the market.
You don't want to oversaturate. You don't.
Right.
You don't.
Like Taylor Swift right now and Kelsey.
I
Okay.
literally was just going to be like Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, where
Yeah,
like literally no one is talking about the 49ers, and everyone's just like,
Nobody.
well, Taylor Swift's going to fly
know.
in from Japan. I was
Yeah.
like, but she doesn't play.
I do want to give a throwback to a cameo that Jax Taylor invited me. He went when for Mother's Day. I want to say it was like 2021. Do you remember I sent you this cameo? His cameo was like 5 minutes too long, and he was like, "Hit me up, DM me. We'll go out in LA." And I was like, "Okay, Jax." And also, Jax bashed Bravo on that cameo, and now look at him. He's going to drop his new show. Have you seen?
Let me tell you something.
Have you seen the new show?
I haven't because I don't I watched the trailer for it and I don't really know what it's about.
It's about it's about
His
couples
neighbors,
with kids.
him and his
People
neighbors.
living in the neighborhood.
in the valley.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
Okay,
made
so it's Vanderpump Rules.
but in the neighborhood,
But
married people, probably with children.
It's like they're not single.
Right.
I
they're
do
not
have to
single.
respect that Stassi turned it down.
I
Do you know
respect that a lot. Well, she's not friends with them.
That's
She's
why
not
she
friends with
said
them.
she turned it down. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Was on your Jeff. She loves
Can I
Jeff
ask-
Lewis.
Yeah, I do love Jeff Lewis.
Oh, let me tell you something.
And-
Everyone that bashes Bravo just wants to be back in our network, in my opinion.
So, Dar, what did you think of Vanderpump?
We're
Bringing
talking
it
just
back.
first episode now.
Yes.
I knew going into it, what I had heard was like, especially from BravoCon, because I saw Ariana at BravoCon and, I voted for her for Dancing with the Stars, big fan. And I was like, tell me about the season, like what's going on? And she's like, I think people are going to turn on me. We were like, I think the tides have changed, that it's not that it's like Queen Ariana on this pedestal anymore.
This explains the teaser when Lala says, "Who becomes God after being cheated on?"
Well, and I think, listen, that first episode, I gotta say, I love Lala, man. I mean, she is probably the most mature in terms of her really learning things. Like, I would say at the reunion, she really disappointed me because I thought that, I know this is unpopular, I just thought people were way too harsh at the reunion. Like, first off, I couldn't hear anything. Like, when you're screaming, like, why is James Kennedy yelling? Like, he spit on a woman and he's cheated and they've all cheated, right? So I was a little bit like, I don't know, like, he didn't kill a person, like, yes, he cheated, but like, that's also why we watch the show. Like, literally,
Right, they all
Jax Taylor,
cheated.
like,
Yeah.
they all cheat. Like, I mean, Sandoval cheated on Kristen Doty with Ariana. Let's not forget that,
Yeah,
right?
She was the
And then-
mistress.
Right. And then James was engaged to Raquel, and I could tell that he was just feeling very insecure about the whole thing. But when they're like screaming, just saying all these nasty things, I was just like, oh, this just doesn't feel mature. This feels very, very high school. But Lala, that first episode where she was like, listen, like, and I believe in this, like, whenever there's a cheating scandal, people are always like, women are whores, women are this. I'm like, what happened to the guy? Why is everyone being so shitty to Raquel? Like, granted, I might not want to be friends with her, but she didn't do. She's young. She was, maybe not the brightest bulb. Like, I don't understand why everyone was being so harsh on Raquel, and just like, it's Tom's responsibility to Ariana. Why is the woman always the whore?
And I do
Always the
appreciate
whore.
that.
I don't know
Always.
why.
And it's
We're
been
always
that-
the whores. I don't get it. I
like
truly
that.
don't.
I like that Lala said when they were having drinks at the Den in WeHo on Sunset. She like stood up to Ariana. She's like, "Yo, yeah, I called. I left a voice note for Raquel."
She was completely honest. I don't even think she stood up there. She was like, hey, just want you to know that I did this. And like, I thought Ariana handled it well. I actually liked those four women together. I thought that, yes, finally, can we all just kind of admit that maybe like girls should probably stick together, and maybe that it's really shitty for her that Lala went through the same thing and was naive and admits that she's naive, admits that maybe Randall obviously was not the guy that she thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
And now she's growing from it and she wants to like reach out and give back. She doesn't want, I don't think that anyone should be defined by the worst thing they ever did. I just don't think that is helpful. So it was really nice to actually see that, truly. If none of them cheated, I don't think people would watch the show as much as they do.
Well, everybody loves
for that.
Yeah,
we all
yeah.
watch for that.
Now,
right?
do you think Billy Lee has moved into the house?
I was like reading stuff about this morning, and I was just like, wow, like, I mean, obviously I know Billy Lee. I've watched Billy Lee. First off, it's weird to me that they still live in the same house.
Yeah,
because part of me is like Ariana
live in the same house still,
and they communicate only through Tom's assistant now, Felicia.
That must be fabulous. Wow, I would be living on I'd be living on tranquilizers if I had to deal with that situation.
I mean, the penis flute is intact, though, Marni. That's the number.
that was important. Wait, so she
Wow, yeah, I never saw that until I just saw it this season. I mean,
because
this
she didn't watch
episode.
last season,
Right? Because it's
I
like
know,
I'm
Felicia.
over these people. However, where did he get that from? Who made that?
She would buy it.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
No, I
oh my
wouldn't.
God,
Oh my God.
listeners!
That's
If we
like-
can
that's
find
my
that for your
wall?
apartment,
Yeah, right.
We're
now.
doing GoFundMe. If you guys can send us a link to the penis flute, I will personally buy this for Felicia. Like, personally, it's going to be in the video set. If we're doing video for the first time, it always has to be in the background.
Right.
that would be amazing.
That would be.
And
fun.
not for nothing.
God.
Your husband Casey texts me all the time and he's like, I love Marni, but we're really missing a penis flute in our relationship. And I'm like, I know, Casey. Like, I'm working on it. So, like, truth be told, this has been a long time coming for the Ellises. Like,
Oh my
long time
God,
coming.
I
that was
love
really
it.
funny.
Let's talk about Beverly Hills Housewives this week.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do you have any hot takes on what's going on with Kyle and Morgan?
Mauricio. Oh,
No,
so sad. about it.
she's so upset
I'm so upset.
about Kyle and Mauricio. She's very.
Well,
she's,
I'm upset too.
I
I'm
love
upset
them
too
as a
because
couple.
they were a great couple. You know, and I think they were both very attractive. They were both equally successful, which is
Absolutely.
really fun to see when they're both kind of bringing things to the table. I love that Mauricio would get high on camera. Like, I love that he was like taking edibles in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a big proponent of it. Like, I love them as a couple. And obviously they have children together. I never want to see I am not of the philosophy, truly philosophically, that divorce means failure. Like, I think couples can be better off when they are divorced. I do believe in amicable divorces.
I
and
agree
I do
with you.
sometimes think it's better for couples to get a divorce. So I am not like, oh, they're failed. I think that they can probably have a really good companionship, husband and wife type of thing with the family because their kids are older. I also feel better about the kids being older.
but he's probably had a wandering eye. He probably cheated on her a little.
I don't know.
No.
I mean, first off, like, maybe, but like, what if that was also part of their arrangement? Like,
Maybe.
that's the thing. People jump so quickly to conclusions of being like, he's doing that, he's cheating. I'm like, what if she was okay with it? I'm not saying she was. I'm just saying, like, there are thousands of different ways to skin a cat in
Absolutely.
relationships. And I think we only ever look at it as being like, you're monogamous, you have to be married for 500 years and have 2 kids and this and that. I'm like, I think the generation and even my millennial generation is changing that a little bit. And so I think the older generations, that's why we see a lot of later in life people coming
Divorces.
out.
Right. So like
Divorces and coming out.
Right. Like, so if Casey were comfortable with me branching out, I would definitely be having an affair with my girl crush, Daryn Carp.
Absolutely. Of course. Because I have a penis flute and Casey does not have a penis flute. And that's his big flaw. That's his biggest flaw.
Potomac. Is
Yeah,
it
my
not?
favorite.
You told me, I will never forget this day. Daryn said to me, Potomac is the best franchise. And you know when I
Season 5.
You know what
Season
I did?
5.
But you know what I did? I binged all 7 seasons in a row. And I love the binge. Now I'm up to date, and I just feel like it's not hitting like it used to.
This season is not slapping. Okay, season 5, Potomac,
Best.
Housewives. You have to admit it was the best season of Housewives of all time. Like, I don't care. Like, no one can compete. Like, everyone's like, oh, reality Von Teese. I was like, that was peanuts compared to what Potomac gave me that season. Truly, I also think Potomac is the funniest one. I just think it's so funny that I laugh out loud. I think it's really funny. This season isn't as good. I don't know if I like it when they hate each other so much that they refuse to like acknowledge each other in film. Like, the point of this is for bad-ish behavior women, rich, aspirational women to get together, fight, have their issues, then talk it out and reconcile. That's what we all are actually for the payoff to see. That's really what the reunion is really all about, to see them work through these issues and kind of come back around and see all these relationships. If you refuse to film with someone and you refuse to even talk to them, like Giselle and Candace and then like the Robins in the mix, like, then it's just not going to make a good season. You want to see them interact for better or for worse. And that's why I think it's struggling a little bit.
Which is also my fear about Vanderpump. Like, if Ariana's like, I'm not friends with you anymore, Schwartz, I hope they mend that relationship, because I kind of love Schwartzy. Like, he's just like the idiot dum-dum that
He
like
is the idiot dum-dum.
Well, it's funny because like I actually think he's
Poor
one of the
guy.
more well-spoken guys. What I think he needs is just like deep therapy that he doesn't keep his boundaries. I think he's such a people pleaser. He's so scared to speak up. Like, I just think he has his own issues with that, which is why he's attracted to really strong women like Katie, who have like very definitive boundaries, who are not going to, because like she's going to speak up for him because he can't speak up for himself. I don't think that he's dumb. I actually think he's just like, he's like a poor sap who can't stand up for himself. And that is not attractive because that doesn't feel like very man to people. That doesn't feel very strong.
Daryn,
I just think if he was in therapy,
the bottom line is he's a man.
What is a man, Felicia? We don't even know. What is a man?
Another idiot man.
Mom, maybe you
except Casey.
No,
he is not an
maybe
idiot.
you should try women.
It's funny.
Well,
Felicia,
why doesn't she start dating women, Daryn?
I'm just saying it's better on this side of the rainbow. It's better on this side of the rainbow. We know our own equipment. Okay, you're guaranteed a good time.
I do not disagree with you.
We have to bring it back to Salt Lake City for a minute. Talk to me. Monica did not get asked back, not because of the burn book, just because of the Instagram account. Did she lie about casting, knowing that she had this?
If Bravo had no idea that she was part of that.
But did the production company know and hide it from the network? That would be like a big no-no.
That would be a big no-no. I mean, you're a showrunner. I mean, that would be a big mistake on their part.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be good. I don't think that there would be any kind of reason to do that. Obviously, you can only really trust what they tell you. You know what I mean? Like if I'm telling you, oh, my relationship is great, but I'm really going through terribleness. Like, I mean, how are you going to kind of know?
Right.
You're only really given the information that they've been given. But I'm telling you, Bravo had no idea. I think Monica had every opportunity to hit that reunion and be better. If she had, the burn book was a major cringe fail, in my opinion.
It really was.
And it's not that people bring receipts. I mean, like Kenya Moore brought a scepter one time to an Atlanta reunion. Like people bring things like She by Sheree, she's bringing newspapers. Like people bring receipts. People always have a printout. They love a billboard. They love shit like that. So it's not that. It's just that it was really, really cringe. And I think if Monica, who I can't even get into the psychological like therapy she needs just with her mother, who is like so sad. Like that was just so hard to watch because they wanted to be on the show so desperately. And that like
they were so thirsty to be on TV.
The audience can smell it. I think if Monica was like, I started this account to really expose Jen Shah. And I was so wrapped up in it because I was so hurt by her. But I recognize that you guys were victims, casualties of war, that you guys were innocent bystanders that happened to be a casualty of me doing this. And I apologize. And I never wanted to do that to you guys, but it just happened to be to get down to Jen Shah. I think the women would have come around to actually accepting that because they all have a common enemy in Jen Shah. But Monica like refused to acknowledge. Even Andy was like, why are you surprised that these people are hurt by you?
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
And I was just like, is she like refused to acknowledge it? Because she refused to acknowledge it. Yeah. Why would I want to be friends with someone who literally refuses to acknowledge my existence and what they put me through?
So they're
doesn't mean that her intention was wrong. But you have to understand what happened.
They're giving her a break, and she'll probably be back in the future. That's my prediction.
Timeout.
I always think there's redeems. I never say never.
Oh,
never
she's getting a timeout.
Timeout.
She's getting a timeout.
Right, like
Put
Dorinda.
on pause.
Like Dorinda, the pause.
Like
The pause.
Dorinda. Yes. Timeout.
Never say never in Bravo
Never.
world.
Do you think
Never.
Heather really blacked out and doesn't know how she got the black eye? I mean, we know Jen gave it to her, but like the fact that she doesn't know if it was like a hit or if it was like a...
I mean, listen, far be it for me, I haven't blacked out drunk in a very long time. So I maybe if someone punched me in the face, is it possible that I was so out of so blitz, so blotto that I wouldn't remember it? I mean, remember what her eye looked like? I mean, that's
awful.
a pretty square punch in the face. That's a pretty square punch in the face. I find it very hard to believe that given the fact that she even tried to like blame producers on this, like, trust me, if we had the fucking footage,
you would have shown it.
We would have shown it. Like, and now watching it back, looking at how her and Jen Shah reacting. I mean, at the time, I thought it was Jen Shah because I was like,
I remember you told me that.
Fall on a cabinet. Like, who are you protecting, girl? Who are you protecting? Like,
I remember you texting me. I'm like, who? What the F? And you were like, I think it's Jen. Like, that was your personal opinion. That wasn't like
that was my personal opinion.
I just was facts,
like, they're protecting it. Jen seemed too eager to like create a story. She was over there. I mean, that is a square punch in the face, unlike what Raquel or Rachel accused Sheena Shea of, which was like a little like scratch here and there. And obviously Sheena Shea can't even make a fist because of her nails. That was a square punch in the face. How black, if you are so black out that you don't remember who punched you in the face, I don't think drinking is for you.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
I'll put it
All
that
right.
way.
Daryn, you are the reason I started watching this season of The Traitors.
I loved my shout out. It was like second episode, and you were like, granted, I had to share it with Dan Brown, but like that's fine because I feel like I really am the first two Traitors. Like I feel like I am the biggest pusher of this show to people.
So explain to
Traitors
me,
pusher.
did you start the Traitors like original? Like, was there a UK version? Like,
Yeah, so it is a UK format, I believe. There is, if you go on Peacock, there's a UK version, there's an Australian version, and then there's now the full season of Traitors US, and now we're starting the second season. I've watched all of them. All of them. I started with the US. The biggest thing for me is, well, basically in Australia and Britain, they don't have famous people like they did in the first season where it was like half and half. It's just real people. Americans are so much meaner. Like so mean to each other in a way that they are not in Britain and Australia. Like
and when you say Americans, you mean like the non-celebrity Americans.
I mean when you watch social experiments that are based in America with Americans in it, we are so fucking mean to each other. And in Britain, they'll be like, this. Have you ever seen the show Naked Attraction? If you have to get Felicia to watch it if you haven't watched it yet. Have you watched Naked Attraction?
Casey's that's the one that we watch where everyone's naked.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But
everyone's very nice.
That's Felicia's homework. Giving her homework. That's her homework.
Where they're
you
like,
have to watch this with Marni.
Right. Your nipples. Okay. Okay.
But like in America, they'd be like, "You're gross."
Right, you're right.
And
you're right.
Fat. I fucking hate you. Like you're disgusting. I can't imagine that. But in the UK, they're like, well, they just don't have a comfortable stance.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
that's so nice.
Actually, I heard somebody talking about that, and I kept thinking,
you see full bush.
What?
You
Really?
see it all. You're right. I never thought that the American version would be a lot ruder.
Truly, I did not realize how many different vagina.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
And I've seen vagina in my day.
Or boobs. I mean, I kind of remember had different boobs. It's a really we only got through what we only got through
penis. I'm like, wow, it is an amalgamation of just every kind.
We only got through 1.5 episodes. Did you watch a whole season?
Oh, I've watched probably 30 episodes. Yeah,
wow.
I think I've watched all of them. Yeah. I'm a big fan because I like how they do trans people. I love that.
Right.
It's
very diverse.
They don't even make it a big, and they have different body types. And let's be fair, I watch Love Is Blind. They never switch up body types there. They never switch it up. It might be a touch more voluptuous. Okay, you're voluptuous, but they never do that. They never do it, and that bothers me because I'm like, is love truly blind or is love only blind for skinny people? That can't be the case,
Right. So the Traitors, Americans are rude.
Americans are much ruder. I think it was better this year that we are doing all reality stars because Casey, you're going to have to use the spoiler alert
standby
thing that I love. Yep. Thank you. Use it. Spoiler alert. When Suri won and she which was a bomb way to do it.
Season 1 of the Traitors.
She took money from Andy, who was literally saving for IVF.
Hold on.
Their family.
She took money from a non-reality star?
Yes. Oh. And they were really good friends. And it was and Andy was the sweetest. And Suri snaked it. And it was amazing to watch. I mean, it was just amazing reality to watch. But I think it tugged on our heartstrings too much.
Just so you know, some context, Suri won Survivor.
No, Suri is has never won Survivor. She's been on it 4 times. She is the most successful player to have never won. And she was also on Big Brother last summer with her son.
And she won the Traitors season 1, and she made it through Big Brother very far. And you think,
far.
Get this person out. Get this person out if they won the Traitors.
Right. This person is great. So it's interesting to see Big Brother people on the Traitors because I think Big Brother have the best advantage because they know how to be deceptive and they know how to lie. I mean, that's the entire point of it. Whereas Housewives this season, everyone's like, oh, Housewives, they're acting. I go, actually, no. Housewives, the only thing that they can do is be themselves.
Yeah, they don't know how to act because they're not used to challenges.
If they were actors, they wouldn't be on bloody TV.
Right. Spoiler.
Right.
This week's episode of The Traitors for me was the best one.
It was the best one by far. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat.
I was ready. I have not really been loving Dan. I'm he's got to go. He's got to go. I was ready for him to leave.
They've been getting it wrong. He didn't win Big Brother twice. He almost won it the second time.
He said that.
They keep getting it wrong. And I'm but he didn't. Even though I think if you won Sandra won Survivor twice. If you're going to win something twice that's a social experiment mixed with competition, you're a threat. Because people really like you and they want to see you succeed.
Right.
The fact that Sandra's not really on anyone's radar right now, I'm she literally has won Survivor twice.
You gave up on Survivor, right?
I watched it from the very beginning, and then after a few years, it was all right. I get bored.
It's the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It is the same.
After a while, I go, okay, I'm done.
It is
and
the
that's
same.
with anything.
But
Whether
that's
it's
not with Korean content.
not with Korean content.
Why is
However,
that?
I don't know.
Are you watching Korean challenges?
No.
My mom watches like Korean, like Love is Blind. And she's like, but in
Is she?
Korea, well, because in Korea, they're like, my mom always talks about how it's like in America, if you sleep with someone, it's like not a big deal, right?
Right.
That's like
In
basically a kiss, kiss, hello.
Right.
In Korea, they're like, if you look at someone's face in the eye, you're like
You're
married.
out.
Like
You're
if
done.
you get
You're
kissed,
done. Right.
If you kiss them, you might as well have had sex and like 900 children with them. Like
Exactly.
it is such a different.
There's a Korean
play on
version of
sexual-
Love is. Hold on.
Yes.
There's a Korean version of Love is
but I
Blind.
think yes, but it's like with divorcees, I think. And it's like filmed in the United States. It's like my mom is
Felicia,
a big
you should
proponent.
watch this.
Wait.
Proponent.
I'm
I don't-
shocked that does
Yeah.
your mom watch any other Korean content though?
She does. Well, okay. So my mom, well, it's not necessarily Korean, but my mom loved Squid Game and she
Right.
watched the realities. She loved the competition shows.
Did you watch
But
the
thing is-
competition show of
I
Squid
did,
Game?
I did,
thought it
and
was
I loved it.
amazing.
But my mom, who actually watched it first, and my mom is a big reality watcher. She got me into Big Brother. My mom was like, I asked her before I started watching the reality version of Squid Game, I was like, how is it? And she's like, oh my God, it's so good. She's like, I said, how do they get eliminated? Like, what does it look like? And
Well,
she's
they're
like,
not killed.
no, she goes, it's unclear if they die. I go, you're an engineer. I know you're not in television, Ma. I know,
That's
but
really funny.
They're
That's
not,
not happening.
killing people.
Right, right.
And she's like, she watched Jury Duty and she was 100% convinced that Ronald was acting. And she's like, well, you can tell he's acting. Go, no, Mom, like that's not the point of the show. Like they couldn't do it if it was like that. So my mom is convinced that literally like everything is scripted. Like she's like living in the Truman world. That's what she thinks.
I love her.
She's a big fan of Korean content.
Wow, but she's not watching the Korean dramas.
I don't know if she's watching the Korean
You have
dramas,
to ask
but
her next time you speak to her.
My girlfriend is Persian and her mom loves a Turkish soap opera.
As
So if you
do-
get into the Turkish soap operas,
Okay.
apparently these are all the rage.
Is that the one that Judy's watching and there's 40 episodes a season?
There was one show, Money Love, something, Black Money Love, something like that. It was 140 something episodes, which I didn't
binged.
realize.
Judy did.
I got up to 40
Yeah.
something and I went, well.
You did 40 episodes?
Yeah, and I went,
Wow.
well, I can't do this. I jumped like a book.
Oh,
and everything
she
else
went to the
right
finale.
end.
What are you doing?
Because
what are you doing?
because basically it's all the same shit. I mean, it is.
I just love that you are like so not a purist, but your daughter, who's like in television and has like
gets so
dedicated her
upset. She
life
gets so
to like
mad.
Teresa fucking Caputo, and it's like her whole life is in fucking reality and loves it, and you are just like, you know what, like
just go
screw
to
the
the end.
mincy, I'm just
Yeah,
going to the
go to
end.
the
Like
end. And
it's like
that's-
being an author, and like your daughter's an author, and you're
And
like,
I would go to
read
the
books.
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to the end.
By the
and you're just like, all right.
And Daryn, I do that with books also.
Daryn, I have a game for you. I'm going to put a minute on the clock. You have to tell Felicia in 1 minute why she shouldn't be jumping to finales. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
In 3, 2, 1.
Okay, especially with reality, because human relationships, it's like jumping to it's like having someone be born and then Marnie's 18. And it's like, well, it doesn't really matter what happened to Marnie between 0 and 18 because she's 18 now. And like, what does it matter? Like she got her period. Yeah. That's so interesting. She had her first kiss. Maybe she lost her virginity. I don't know. But it's all the nuance of leading up to that 0 to 18 that actually makes Marnie who she is at 18. You want to know when she's been broken up with. You want to know who she's broken up with. You want to know how she lost her virginity. You want to know if she lost her virginity to her best friend who hated that guy that she actually lost her virginity with, because that is a layered social human condition. I know, I majored in neuroscience and psychology. Human beings are very layered, very complicated, very nuanced. It is not black and white. You need every inch of every storyline to understand how they are. You can't just go to the end of the book. You can't. You are not building upon itself. Then you just want the payoff. You just want to eat the fucking meal and you don't want to cook it. And I can't agree with you on this.
Wow, and she just hit a minute. Buzzer is done. Thank you, Daryn Carp.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I think Felicia, Daryn just kind of schooled you.
She did, but it's not going to change.
Wow.
You got time. I know.
I'm
Felicia,
sorry. At my
Felicia,
age,
you're the Katie Maloney of this group. You're your own woman. You're your own woman.
I mean, it doesn't
You're your
matter.
own
She
woman.
yells at me all the time. I don't care. I don't care.
If it makes you feel better, I yell at Marnie all the time.
There you
So
go.
it's like
Okay.
it's all displaced.
Yeah.
So while we have you here, I think we should do our last segment by Felicia with you, Daryn, which
Bye,
is
Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
what are we watching next week. This weekend, we tell people what we're watching. I'll start Curb Your Enthusiasm. Last season starts tomorrow night. Look at
Susie
Felicia's
Essman
face.
Susie Essman is my spirit animal.
I love her, but I cannot watch
Larry David?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's like obnoxious. I don't know.
That's the point.
I know. But you know what?
Seinfeld's my favorite show of all time, so I'm going to give it up to him. I still think Seinfeld's better than Curb, but Susie Essman makes it for me. I literally watch for Susie Essman.
So we're going to watch. I'm watching Curb. I'm not giving that to you as homework. I don't want you to sit in pain. But what are your thoughts on Mr. and Mrs. Smith? That's dropped on Prime.
Yes, it did. I was going to start it last night.
What? She'll finish that in 2 seconds.
I know, but
I don't know if I'm into Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I will say Expats on Amazon Prime. I'm currently in the middle of now.
Wait a minute. I started that.
What?
Okay.
You didn't tell me.
Marni, we don't need you. Marni, we don't need you.
I did start it, but I did. It was going, the first episode or the second, because I don't remember, was like, it's taking too long to get where you're going.
There is a little bit of a slow lull, but I think it's going to pay off in the end.
I'm sure you're right, but I didn't have the patience because I don't have any patience. Apparently, I have no patience. I have to go back to it.
Do you recommend it, Daryn?
I do. I do really like it. I like it a lot. And for those who don't know, it's just about 3 women whose lives intertwine in Hong Kong in 2014.
That's why you're watching
it. After Nicole Kidman's son goes missing. And I won't give you any other details, but it's 3 lives that intersect women.
Good summary.
Well, if you gave up after the first episode, you wouldn't know that. But that is what it says on IMDb. So I'm not giving any spoiler alerts technically with that.
And you're not going to skip ahead.
No. Well, no.
Anything else that's big coming this week for you, Daryn?
I might. I watched Feud. I watched True Detective Night Country, which is literally just a whole bunch of lesbians having sex with men.
I love it. I think Jodie is fabulous.
I mean, I will watch anything Jodie Foster, but when she is having sex with a man, I am like, this is not right.
That's because it's ingrained in your head.
I said last week, I thought she was going to play a lesbian. Aren't women cops lesbians?
Be a lesbian.
Why can't they make her a lesbian?
I thought it was great. I'm so enjoying it.
Even Callie Reese, who's straight in real life, I'm like, you have this pierced.
Oh my God, I thought she was gay too.
Yes, no, she's
Wait, she's straight in real life?
She's straight?
Well, she's in a heterosexual relationship. I don't want to say that she's straight, but she's married to a man. She's married to a man.
All
right. Okay.
Has she been in anything before? Or I feel like she has a story.
She does. She's a champion boxer. So she's actually a big boxer. And so I was reading all about her. She's been in a few acting things, but she started her career as a very championship boxer. She's amazing. And I love Night Country. I think it's really, really good.
It is good.
I don't know where it's going, and I don't want it to pull a Yellow Jacket season 2 where it gets too woo-woo and then I'm off.
I agree.
I don't want it to go way the Lost. I want there to be clear-cut defined answers.
I agree.
Because I thought season 2 and season 3 of True Detective sucked. I only liked season 1.
Me too.
So I need that to come back into the fold. And I watched The Bachelor on Mondays. I watched
Bachelor.
Joey.
Well, I think that does it. But I just want to say before we wrap, thank you so much, Daryn. Daryn, where can people listen to your podcast? Where is the best place for people to get you now these days?
Yes, Shaken and Disturbed with me and John Thrasher. New episodes come out every Sunday. We also do an NMR called Not Murder Related, where we get to talk about our jobs, and I complain about usually the people in my gym and the true crime docs that I am watching.
There's so much to watch.
There's so much to watch.
Daryn, this is our outro. I can't thank you enough. Everybody, and one more update. Felicia is OOO next week out of the office in Florida. There will be a special episode.
Florida.
Don't worry. We're gonna have. I think we need a sound effect for Florida. Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh my God. Make your rounds, Felicia. Make your rounds.
We'll see.
Bye,
anyway.
Daryn. Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia.